YouTube is telling me that I've been starting my videos wrong. I'm supposed to start with a greeting and introduce myself. So good morning. My name's Julianne, and this is Melonville. We're in Saskatchewan, southeast Saskatchewan, Zone 3B. And this vlog is not a how-to. I don't mean to tell anybody how to do anything, but just a what am I doing? How am I making things work? And the difficult things about gardening in Saskatchewan. We do have some very trying conditions. You may think it's May, all our problems are solved. But no, you would be wrong. We will still get frost. We will probably still get some snow. Hope we get some rain. When was the last time I mentioned that we've had 4 years of drought? So we will welcome any rain. But it being May, it is now a race. I've got to get all of this stuff cleaned up, ready to go. I've got to get early things out. I've got to get perennials uncovered. First place I'm going to start is the rose bushes. We cover them with manure in the fall. They are all hardy rose bushes. I stick with the Explorers and the Artist series, all roses that were developed in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, Alberta. So I'm not covering them for temperature protection. I'm covering them because they are going to get the shit beat out of them here beside the driveway. We have to plow snow, put it somewhere, and this is where the snow goes. So the roses get covered just to protect the stems. But they are telling me that they want to come out. They are ready to be unburied. Normally I would just be chucking this into a wheelbarrow and hauling it off to the compost pile to further break down. But I actually need some insulation for another project in the hoop house. Yes, another project in the hoop house. So I've got some cat food bags and horse feed bags that like the woven nylon kind, and I'll fill those with the manure from here, since it's got to leave here anyways. And these will be used elsewhere. So I mentioned that I have another project in the hoop house, and yes, it involves keeping things warm, as everything else in here is concerned with. This came from an idea that I saw on a video from Living Traditions Homestead. They were discussing a problem and it sounded so exactly like what was going through my own head that it really made sense to try and copy the solution that they had come up with. So they were bringing plants outside to their greenhouse, and they, maybe naively, as I know I did, assumed that the house would hold at least some heat overnight that it had, collected during the day. But a simple structure of the house where it's just plastic over a frame just isn't capable of holding the heat. And I ran into that last year. I lost all of my Mountain Merit tomatoes because I naively thought that it was going to be warm enough because the hoop house was going to hold in this heat. It doesn't. Okay, we know that. So what they did and what I copied is a box where the plants can go in overnight. Bring you in closer, you can kind of see better. Just a plain old box. There is a piece of plastic that I put over top as a lid. It's see-through, so I don't have to race out here to make sure that they get light first thing in the morning. And the Living Traditions people had a heat lamp. I didn't really want to put a heat lamp in the box, but I do have lots of buckets of water, so I put a bucket of water in here. And let's see, can I show? There's still plenty of space for a number of seedlings. Now these guys, the onions and the cabbage, please, they will be going outside soon, but I'm gonna have to bring the tomatoes out here next. I forgot to mention that those bags of compost, I put them around the outside of the box to act as extra insulation. Now, because this was so easy to make and cheap, I made it, it was all scrap that I found around the farm. I don't feel bad that this is a very short-term solution. I'm not going to need it in the fall. It's just something for spring when I'm bringing things outside. The effort that it saves is I can bring things out to the hoop house, they can start to get hardened off, and I don't have to bring them all the way back inside the house each day. And it's bringing things out into good sunlight, so I know things are getting hardened off properly before they go out into the garden. Okay, so while we're out here, I'll just show you a couple other updates. I had cabbages out growing in the hoop house. The seeds that we planted many episodes ago, most have sprouted, but they're all pretty slow. And I think that was because the ground was still quite cold. I probably should have started them inside and then brought them outside, much like I've done with the cabbage here. But see those? Those are my cute little onions. I'm very proud to see those. One other improvement that I've installed and I haven't shown off is a fan in the end wall. It is connected to a thermostat and turns on when the interior temperature is 25? Yeah, I think 25 degrees. And it exhausts air to the outside. I know it's undersized, but keeping in mind that I only need to keep the greenhouse cooler in springtime, I'm not trying to keep this running in the summer, I think I did okay. Got it on an auction sale for only $5, so I'm thinking I'm alright. I have a surprise to show you. It was a surprise for me anyway. That would be garlic. And there's two. So that must mean it's time to plant some onions. Let's do it. This is only my second year with the raised beds, so I put a nice inch or so of compost on top to get them ready for planting. did some basic weeding, and I think we're ready to go. If there's any scrawny ones, like say this guy, I'm not going to bother planting him. I'm just going to throw him away. I don't need to waste space on something that's that little, is going to have that hard of a time to get going. But everybody else looks wonderful. And there really isn't a big tangle of roots. So not having a million seeds in the one cell did make that easier. Anyone who's been to the racetrack with me knows I'm a very cautious gambler. I'm only going to plant 4 rows of talon, 1 row of scallion, 1 row of scallions, and that's it for today. Nice water in, and because I planted a row of scallions, I should probably start another row too. Start up another pot. I am determined this is the year I'm going to properly do succession planting. I never think to plan enough ahead. Gosh darn it, I'm doing that this year. That seems like plenty enough stuff for this vlog, so I will let you go, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks for stopping by.